Hello, you. I'm so glad you came to join me again to hear the update of day 21. If you don't know me, I'm Amanda Kilder. I'm a Christian weight loss and life coach. And I've been on a journey that I wanted to bring you along with me. I've been doing no sugar from the day after Thanksgiving until Christmas Day, and we're 21 days in. And if you haven't followed along already, um, just to let you know, I did have some sugar last weekend. Go back to Mondays, um, which would be day 17. That was the update for Monday. And listen to that video. I think it's really important that everybody see that I'm not perfect. That I may be a Christian weight loss and life coach, but I still screw up. I still sometimes binge eat. Not as much as I used to before, but it happens. I'm not perfect. And I promise you, I'm just like you. You may think that I have some special willpower or some special self-control, but I don't. I really don't. I was a registered nurse before, and I knew all the science. I knew everything I needed to do to lose weight, but I really struggled to follow through. And that's what I love helping my clients learn to do, because it was something I had to learn, relearn to do and practice. And I want to take you on this journey so that you can start seeing some of the things, some of the ways I practice following through and how that looks, day in and day out. So I'm going to give you today. Today is day 21, and I haven't had any sugar this week. And this week has been a tough week. We had a lot of snow in our area. Well, first ice in Minnesota is never good. Never good, because it takes forever to get rid of, right? It's not gone in a day. Even though we did have warm temperatures and ours did melt relatively fast. But we had ice and then we had snow, and my kids were home. They got out early Tuesday from school, were home Wednesday and Thursday, and they finally went back to school on Friday. So we've had a lot of together time. It's been stressful, especially when you work from home, to get things done. And there were a lot of times when, my kids were snacking and eating that I had the thought, oh, I'll just eat it. No big deal, right? And I talked about that on Monday, how I have those thoughts and what I do to capture those thoughts and move through them. So I don't really want to talk about that today. I want to talk about how I was able to, fail, screw up, hit that obstacle last weekend, and still have a really successful week this week. And I plan on having a very successful weekend. And I plan on, seeing it through the 30 days and hopefully just having, those 2 screw ups. Maybe more. Totally okay if I do. But what is it that I do differently, or how I think differently, I think is the more important piece, that may be different than you, in which helps me kind of regroup and get going again. Okay? And it's this thought that I'm not going to wait for tomorrow. I'm not going to wait for the right time when I'll be successful. I've decided that I'm successful now. Even if I screw up, I'm really successful. I had made it 14 days with no sugar, and the sugar I did have, one was a mistake and one was a conscious choice. I'm okay with that. So I'm okay with that. Even if I would have screwed up and had sugar, even just binged on it, because I've done that in the past too, I was still successful. I was still doing really well. So that's number one. I don't see myself as a failure and a big pile of junk. I don't call myself names. I don't pile on the shame just because I screw up anymore. I used to. That was my default. But I don't allow myself to do that. It wants to come up, but I don't sit in it. And I also don't sit in this idea that tomorrow will be easier. Instead, I know right now is actually the easiest time to start again. We often deceive ourselves thinking that tomorrow will be better, will be easier. But that is actually not true. We actually make tomorrow harder when we put it off. So I've really changed in how I follow through because I just keep taking action now. It's a part of the follow through process that I help coach my clients through. There's a piece where you just commit to taking action over and over and over again, even if it's imperfect action. Those who are successful, I even think about in the Bible, the people that saw the biggest blessings weren't perfect, actually. They were far from perfect because actually it contrasted how much of a blessing it was that came, right? And they didn't wait. They would wait on on God's timing, but they didn't wait on themselves to have it all figured out for it to be perfect. They didn't wait to take some action. They took some action, then let God bless it, use it. Just like Proverbs 6:4 says, don't put it off. Don't rest until you do. Let me make this a little clearer. It's like gardening. I love using gardening as a really good example in a lot of things. It relates really well. And by the way, if you really dig into God's word, he talks a lot about like planting and harvesting and gardening and grapevines, but totally off subject. But it's like gardening. Now, we have to have faith and wait on God to provide and produce a crop. That doesn't mean that you wait to plant it, to weed it, to care for it the best that you can. Now, yes, ultimately, God is in control over the weather and that plant, but you have a big piece of being faithful to take action to support that plant and care for it now, to do it now. You don't keep putting off watering a plant that is withering because it may rain tomorrow. No, you take care of it today. Now, because you see it's dying. Ecclesiastes 11:4, or Ecclesiastes, however you say that. Farmers who wait for perfect weather never plant. If they watch every cloud, they never harvest. Yes, we need to wait on God's timing, but we don't need to wait for the right time to actually move. The right time is now. If you really think about this, if you stop yourself from keep putting things off, keep taking the action you want to be taking, that means you get to reap the harvest sooner. And you get to build a better relationship with God and yourself. Because you're going to see every action you take that God's in that action. He's working through it. He provides the strength and the support you need in all those uncomfortable moments, even in the obstacles. This thinking really has completely changed, turned my life around. When I stopped waiting. Now, like I said, it doesn't mean that you don't wait for the Lord. You don't wait for his timing. But that you can hold that and still take action and let God use that action. God cannot bless the action you don't take. There is no perfect time because you're not a perfect human being. There's no getting it right. Just do. And God will help course correct you the whole time. When I faithfully believe that God can use the action that I take today for his good and his glory, I keep moving and God keeps working through it all. And it's amazing what he's done through it. So I want you to think about that for yourself. All right, you guys, that's for today. I hope if you haven't liked this channel yet and you're watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Keep up to date. We have a couple more updates next week as we roll into the very last bit of this. And then I want you to think about this right now too. As we roll into the new year, many of you will probably have goals of health or weight loss in the new year. It's common, right? We hear it over and over again. Let's stop waiting to hit those goals. If God has put it on your heart, if he is giving you this desire to take care of your temple, stop waiting. And don't even wait for the new year. Start today, before Christmas. Maybe that means like going for a 10-minute walk a couple times, even if it's a week. Right now, like make that your goal. Start today. I think that's another big factor that's really changed in my life. I've already started working on my goals for next year. I started that in October, November, and I've been working towards it. I don't wait for my goals just because some calendar shows me a certain date. You could start today. And I recommend you do. I recommend you make small little changes. Take small action right now. Don't overwhelm yourself. And just do today. I also want to let you know one more thing. We have another challenge coming up, Rachel and I do. The Feel Amazing Inside and Out Challenge. It's going to equip you with everything you need to not only lose weight, but to feel really confident inside and out. To feel good in that beautiful body that God gave you and mind. All right? So that is starting January 9th. If you want to be a part of that challenge, click the link that I have below this video. You could check it out and you could start signing up for today and start getting the emails to prepare you and get you rolling on this beautiful adventure that we're going to go on. I love this challenge because it literally gives you everything you need to be successful, to set you up for you finally, instead of just putting off doing the action to get to that goal, to actually take action and get to that goal. All right, you guys, I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Bye now.